So closures in Python. Why do we use closures? Why do we use lambda functions? For that, we need we will be discussing about callable in functions. Then we will be basically trying to use them, and but all of them will become very much handy whenever you are doing functional programming. Okay. So to be very specific, yesterday we have defined an inner function, right? So inner function can act as a closure. So if your inner function can access dynamically generated or which can access the value variables of the outside function, then that is something which we call as a closure. Okay, so a closure is a dynamically generated by other function. Okay, and can both change and remember. Sorry, can both change and remember the values of variables that were created outside the function. This is something which we call as closures. Okay, so let me quickly try to uh, basically write a very simple Python code. So let me call new Python package closure underscore demo. Okay, so I am defining a method. Okay, and I'll call this method saying that okay prettify. Okay, so of message. Okay, this method will capitalize the string. Okay, very simple stuff. So but what I have done is inside this, okay, for okay capitalize underscore message, I've written this function, and inside this function I'm just trying to tell that return message dot or okay, I don't remember the capitalize method, so capitalize in Python. Okay, string as a capitalized method, I can directly use that. Okay, so message dot capitalize, something like this. Okay, all right. So if you see, the message is not passed, it is passed to the outside function, but I am doing this. And over here, what this function will do is it will, rather than doing its operation, it will try to tell that okay, return capital underscore message. Now if I basically call this method, if underscore underscore name is equals to underscore underscore main. Okay, I will try to tell prettify of input, enter the message. Okay, and then I will try to print that. Okay, is there any complexity inside that? So inside print I am calling prettify, and prettify basically takes the input method, right? So if you don't want to write all of this in one statement, you can try to basically create other function for that. That's your choice, or assign them to variables. Okay, if you are finding this complicated, right? So let me take this, go to sample.py, paste it over here, and let me quickly go to PowerShell cd c colon temps colon Python. Okay, and then Python sample.py. Enter the message. Okay, all that glitters is not gold. Okay, so what is the response which I'm trying to get? I'm trying to get a function, but will that help out? Now let me try doing this. Okay, function should be called, right? All that. Okay, or let me put it there. All. Sorry, getting capital letter. Okay, so because we are returning a function, you have to call that function. Okay, remember we have discussed about returning the functions and calling the functions, right? So let me go over here and then try to write a very simple Python sample. Okay, right, sir. So here we have to call this, right? So if you want to make this stuff simple, prettify is equals to, okay, input underscore message, or you can try to tell message equals to input underscore prettify, and prettify is equals to prettify of, okay, in rename element, rename the element to prettify. Function should not be continue, don't even think about it. So prettify underscore func, prettify of message. Am I clear on this? So this also I'll try to change it, right? Because we are going against the convention of it, right? So over here I'll just call prettify underscore function of, if you want to basically understand this stuff. Okay, now it is here, it might be trying to tell about rename element. Okay, so let me call it as msg, and over here msg dot capitalize. Okay, right, that's it. Okay, so the same code is refactored as, so because simple is better than complex. Okay, and here you are returning the function and there you are calling the function. Am I clear on this, sir? Right, okay, now let us basically get into a short introduction to anonymous functions. We'll be discussing about this concept again. Anonymous functions. What is anonymous function? A function without a name. Okay, that is something which we call as lambda. Okay, so a Python, and remember this lambda has nothing to do with AWS lambda. Okay, lambda function is an anonymous function that is expressed in a single statement. Okay, right. So let me try to basically write a simple function. Okay, so new lambda underscore demo. First I'll try to write without lambda, def without lambda. Okay, now here, why should I write without lambda? let me write, okay, edit, okay, message, okay. So here you will have words, okay. So, and now what you are trying to do is for word in words, okay, for word in words, you are basically trying to, okay, capitalize the words. You are trying to capitalize the word, okay, and then you're adding something, some special character to it. So you have written define, okay, uh, let me call it as mm, decorate message or decorate word of mess, uh, msg, okay. So here what we try to do is we decorate the word, okay, let me try to write word, we decorate the word by capitalizing, capitalizing and adding exclamation mark at the end, okay. So returns, okay, if you pass word, word to be decorated, okay. So returns capital WRD and then quotation, okay. I'm just writing a pattern, okay, right. So over here I'm trying to tell that decorate word of, am I clear on this? And this I want to print straight away, this I want to print straight away, right. Let us reformat this file and then let us try to give some superhero characters. If underscore underscore name is equals to underscore underscore main, then okay, what I want to do is I want to, okay, edit message, and in that message I need to pass words. So the words which I am passing is I am passing Iron Man, okay, I am passing Thor, and I am passing Hulk. Is it simple? Now these words will be passed over here, and then the decorate word will basically, what is that it needs to do? It needs to return word dot char return. Let me use format strings. Okay. In format strings, word dot capitalize. Okay. And then at the end, exclamation mark. Am I clear on this, sir? So let me, rather than calling it as edit messages, let me call it as rename underscore heroes. This looks like a better one. All right. Okay, let me show you one tip anyway, right? Whenever you want to change the method names in PyCharm, right click, and then are you seeing refactor, and here rename, and then here if you try to tell that, okay, rename underscore heroes, and then if you click on refactor, okay, it will do the trick for you. Okay, where is that we have? No, refactor, rename, okay, searching and directly search in current file. Okay, it is searching all the project, that is where it has messed up. Okay, rename underscore heroes, refactor. Okay, so right now it is basically trying to tell you that it is this is what it is, do refactor. Sorry, saying we get this, and over here there is a typo, that is fine. Okay, if you want to rename it further, we can right click, refactor, rename, okay, And then here I will try to tell that superheroes. Okay, do refactor. Am I clear on this? So if you want to change any method, this is what it is. And rather than writing words, you can write heroes. Okay, or superheroes. But if you try to write like this, you have to refactor. You have to basically change it. But select this, right click, refactor, rename, or use Shift F6. Okay, Shift F6. And here write it as superheroes. Okay. Whenever you do this, it should refactor. Here it do refactor. Rerun search. Okay. Where is it finding? Yeah. There is some error which is happening. Okay. Right. Fine. And our class is actually messed up. So it's okay. For each superhero in superheroes, decorate the word. Okay. Right. So we should basically get the stuff. Now let me try to copy this, paste it in sample.py, and then try to run this program. Python sample.py. Are you getting Iron Man, Hulk, and Thor? Right. So now whenever you have written, so for example, we have a function where we are trying to capitalize and do this job. Okay. What Python tries to tell is there is no need for you to do all of that. There is no need for you to do all of that. Okay. So rather than calling decorate word, what you could have done is, okay, there is a easier way of basically achieving this. Okay. That is using lambda function. Okay. So what do I mean by a lambda function over here? Rather than calling this function, just try to tell that I want to print a lambda, and this lambda will take, okay, this lambda will take superhero as an object. Okay. So you should not be actually using the same names. If you want, you can use hero over here. Okay. And then what it does is it tries to format hero dot capitalize. Okay. And then it will try to do this. Okay. Am I clear on this? Okay. So rather than calling this, you can very simply try to write a lambda function which looks something like this, and to this lambda function you can basically pass whatever you want to achieve, so lambda function is a very simple alternative, okay, for doing single line functions, and we will be learning map reduce. Then this stuff comes into play. In Python, whenever you write lambda, and then you can define a function, and this function can do the job for you. Okay. So what are lambda functions? Lambda functions are Python functions which do not have any name, associated with it. But since name is not associated with it, it doesn't mean that they will not do the job for you. What we are trying to tell over here is, okay, it will become extremely simple for you. Okay, right? So over here, okay, you can try to tell that lambda, okay, is superhero dot capitalize. Okay, am I clear on this? And let us see what it tries to tell. Reformat the file. Now let me see if I get the same results. Okay, so let me go to sample.py. Okay, save this and run Python sample.py. Okay, so what is that we are getting? Here we get a function. But should the functions be called or not? Let us see if this helps. Okay, it is trying to tell that okay, string is not callable. There is some amount of stuff which you might basically get a problem with. Okay, so how to fix this? Okay, here syntactically it is right. Syntactically this stuff is right. Okay, but I should not be printing it. Okay, I should not be printing it. This is doing the job for you. Okay, yes, yes or no, sir? Whenever you want to basically do this activity multiple times, okay, some people do this. Okay, right? What they do is they call, okay, decorate word of, okay, what is the word which we are passing, right? And here it would be word dot, and here it would be superhero. Okay, now let us see if it works. Okay, even here we are basically getting some error. Okay, so what is the error? Is it not in the capitalize will have this, right? Okay, inconsistent. Oh. Let me not do this, sir. Let me go ahead and write this. Okay, this is what it was. Let me copy this. Let me paste it over here, and let me quickly use it. So here what is happening? It is directly calling this. Now let me try to replace this by trying to tell that okay, this is a lambda function. You have done your job good decently. Now if I try to call this function, will it help? Okay, now let us see. I'll just replace that print statement. Okay, now it is trying to tell that object is not callable. Okay, lambda functions are basically not callable. Okay, but let me write a very simple program now. Okay, I will try to tell, okay, define, okay, define. Oh no, I'll not write it over here. Okay, I'll try to write a new Python package, lambda demo dot py, lambda underscore demo2 dot py or demo1 dot py. That should also be fine. Okay, now let me tell that I want to define a method which is called as square. Okay, the square method takes an input which is this, and over here I'll try to tell that return a lambda function, and this lambda function does nothing but, okay, it does x star x. Okay, now what I'll try to do is for, okay, number in range of 1 to 100. Okay, how do I rate range of 1 to 100? Range of 1 comma 100. Okay, what I want to do is I want to call this lambda function. I want to call this lambda function. So I'll be calling square of number. Okay, but square of number will call the lambda function. That will not be enough. That will not be enough. Okay, right? So on top of it, you need to call it once more. You need to call it once more. So these are all function pointers. They become extremely simple in few cases, but these examples might be sounding complicated to you because we might not see the actual need of it. Okay, right? In lambda, parameter is not necessary, sir. Lakshmi Narayana, I can pass a lambda function without a parameter. Okay, it is not necessary. Okay, right? Now basically what is missing over here? Square of number. Okay, right. Now let me try to write this function in a very different way. Okay, what I'll try to do is I'll try to assign this or try to do this in a different fashion. I try to tell that lambda underscore list. Okay, we know list comprehensions, right? Let me use, okay, for number in range of 1 to 10. Okay, and okay, here what I want to do is I want to call square of number. Okay, now for, okay, lambda underscore function in, okay, lambda underscore list. Now let me try to call lambda underscore function, and now not only that, I will try to print the value of it. I will try to print the value of it. Now let us see what happens. Reformat file. So do you think this will work? Okay, right, let us see. Okay, there is a small mistake over here. Okay, but that's okay. Let us try to fix this first. Okay, right. So are you getting this? Okay, now if I follow the same approach to our program, now let us go back to lambda underscore demo. Okay, so there is no need for me to do all of this. I can basically try to tell, okay, for, okay, print off. Okay, you have to print the values, but before printing the values, what is that I'm trying to tell? For every superhero, okay, for every superhero in superheroes. Okay, what I want to do is I want to decorate. Okay, for decorating, I can write a lambda function. I can write a lambda function. Okay, so the lambda function which we have basically written is, okay, initially we have said that for I will be decorating, and then I'll be calling print of, okay, what was it? Decorate word of superhero. This was the initial code. Now I don't want to do this. Okay, I want to basically pass the value to it. So how will I pass the value to a lambda expression? Okay, in the earlier case there was no need for us to worry about passing the value. Now we have to pass the value. Okay, so how would I do that? Okay, so it is very simple. Okay, all right, try to tell that, okay, my function is, okay, lambda, it will take, okay, no arguments, it will take no arguments, and then what it would do is it would basically try to do this. Okay, let us go into lambda underscore demo 1. Okay, there is no need for us to write a return statement, right? Okay, now this is your lambda function, right? So rather than writing word, you write it as superhero. Okay, so this, okay, and then over here you can basically call, okay, you can basically call function, okay, of. But the problem with this is, but the problem with this function is, here we are trying to make it complicated because every time in the for loop, the superhero has a different value and it might be called in a different stack. Okay, so it is better that we give an argument. So I'll try to give hero, and then I will try to tell that hero dot capitalize, and then this is my underscore function. Now if you call my underscore function with superhero in it, okay, now let us see what happens. Okay, what reformat file, it is trying to tell us different error. Do not assign a lambda. Okay, so he's trying to tell that do not assign the lambda expression, try to use a def instead. Okay, fine, that's okay. We are experimenting. We are not looking out for good practices. We are just trying to see if it works out or not. Okay, now let me go to sample.py and then paste it over here. So if you see, this my function is a lambda function which we have written in one word rather than defining the whole function. Okay, let us see if this works out. So let me save this function in Python sample.py. Is it working, sir? Okay, so inside the for loops you have to be careful with lambda functions. Why we have to be careful? What is happening inside this lambda, right? So for that we need to know a little bit of more Python, where we try to get into stack traces and then try to understand what is happening over here. But lambda in its very simple form is a function which do not have any name. Okay, you can write the expression straight away and try to use it as a function. That is basically where we use lambda. Okay, right. And then I have to speak about the next thing in Python, okay, which is called as generators. Okay, let me write an example for this. Okay, not this. Where is PyCharm? Okay, right. So this is one sample. Okay, the other one is we'll use something which you have used in lambda underscore demo underscore one. Okay, so sample 2 Python, right? Okay, now in Python we have something called as generators. Okay, and then we have to speak about something called as decorators. Okay, I'll not be speaking about decorators now because it is too much early. Until unless I speak about callable functions defining the what do you call defining the this function based advanced kind of functions will be basically difficult for you to understand. So for that reason, let us basically go with a very simple generator example. So what is this generator? Okay, so why should I use basically generator, and what are they, and how do they help them? Okay, so all of this will make in or bring in very handy the moment we start understanding the asynchronous programming. Okay, but fine, let us not basically worry about asynchronous programming at this moment, but let us go with a very simple example of generator. Okay, so any function which has a yield, okay, which has a yield statement. Okay, so generators in Python. Okay, a function, okay, with a yield statement is referred as generator. Okay, so this is basically what a generator is. Okay, so let me try to see how to basically create a simple generator function. Okay, now let me basically go over here and then try to create a new Python file, and let me call it as generator underscore demo. Okay, now over here let me try to write define my underscore generator for learning. Okay, and then inside this function what I'm trying to tell is, okay, I'm trying to tell that, okay, index is 1. Okay, print, okay, This is first part. Okay, am I clear on this? And then I'll write yield statement, and then I'll write yield statement, and I'll write that yield n or yield index. Okay, right. Now what I'll try to do is I'll try to do index, sorry, index plus equals to 1, right? And then I'll try to write print this is second part. Now let me try to write the third one, index plus equals to 1, and then write print this is third part. Okay, so what will this function generally, according to your understanding, what it would do? It would try to, okay, execute all of the lines, right? Okay, right, yield index, and let me write this as yield index. So this is my function, sir. Now I want to call this function. I want to call this function. So what I would basically try to do is, okay, I'll try to create, okay, I'll try to call this function by basically trying to tell that by using function as a variable. Okay, so my underscore function, okay, is equals to my underscore generator underscore learning. Okay, am I clear on this? I have just assigned the function to a variable, and then, okay, after this what I'll try to do is I'll try to basically execute, okay, next of my underscore function. Okay, I'll stop it at that, and then let us see what happens if I try to do this. Okay, because I want to explain this by executing the code. Okay, so let me put a breakpoint over here, and let me put a breakpoint over here, and let us try to debug generator demo. Okay, now what is the first line that is executing? 14th line. Okay, and over here we basically step over, so I will be using F8. Now what is it I got? Okay, now I am calling next of the stuff, so let me execute F8. Okay, so let me go with console. So if you go into the console, what has happened? This is first part is printed. This is first part is basically printed. Okay, now, okay, that's the reason why I want to run it over here, python sample.py. Now I'll go to this code, and then I'll try to tell that, okay, I want one more next of my underscore. Okay, yeah, man. Save. Okay, now let me try to copy this for the third time and the fourth time. Okay, I have to save, sorry sir. So every time it is what is happening over here? Remember our return statement? What happens in a return statement, sir? The function's value will be written and the function execution will be stopped. Yes or no? Okay, with yield things happen differently. So whenever you call this function, okay, for the first time, whenever it sees the yield statement, it will try to return this value. It will try to return this value. So for example, if you want, okay, I can print off, right? Let us see what happens. Okay, now let me run python sample.py. Sorry, saying it calls, it returns that value. Okay, and the moment it returns the value, it will not remove the, it will not finish this function. It will save the state, and it will, when next time whenever you call the same function, it will execute from the next point. it will execute from the next point. So why should I use this? Why should I use this nonsense? Why would I basically have it? Okay, so let me show you why would I have it. Okay, so rather than writing this function, I'll slightly change this function. I'll try to tell that def generate, okay, traffic signals. Okay, so here I'll say signal equals to 1. Okay, print returning red with signal value signal, and here I'll try to tell yield signal. Am I clear on this? Now I will try to tell that signal value I have incremented it by 1. Now let me try to write this function and try to tell that, okay, returning green. Okay, and the third one is, okay, signal plus equals to 1. Okay, and then let me try to tell it as orange. Hopefully it is orange. Let me show you the interesting part. Okay, so whenever I am writing these generators, right, I get one advantage. Okay, so let me show you what that advantage is. Right, so not only I get to basically write a function like this, but rather than writing all the nonsense stuffs, I can basically say if underscore underscore name is equals to underscore underscore main. Okay, I can simply try to tell that, okay, for signal in generate traffic signals, okay, print of signal. So I've written the function and I'm using as if it is some loop, some list or some iterable. Okay, now let me copy this. Okay, so let me try to run this. Let us see what happens. Python sample.py. Are you getting this stuff, sir? So whenever you want to return, okay, values, return values, okay, multiple values from one function, and every time you don't want to remember that value, whatever you have sent, okay, you can easily write a generator function. Am I clear on this, sir? Okay, so these generators will we be using in normal or traditional programming? I don't think so. Okay, I don't think so, but sometimes generators become very handy. Okay, so especially whenever you go with lazy programming and lazy executions and all of that stuff, okay, which we have not discussed so far, then it would become very much handy. And then if you want to make your classes iterable, then it becomes very much handy. So since we don't know all of these terms, these might sound very much what do you call Greek and Latin to us. Okay, right. So I am not going into the next parts, but let us try to basically understand. Okay, let me write the example over here. Python. Okay, so I'll be writing the second example. This makes more sense, right, sir? Now let us try to basically look out for, okay, ways of writing better Python code. Okay, I'll be giving this in some of the stuffs, right? So this is nothing but there is a book in Python which speaks about how to write better code in Python. Okay, and I am trying to showcase that stuff so that we will try to remember. The first thing which it tries to speak about is know which version of Python you use, which version of Python you are using. Okay, so generally whenever we are working with Python, we have to be very much clear on which version of Python we are using. And how do I know that? So go into your system and then execute Python hyphen version, because some code which you are trying to write might not be suitable for the new version which you are trying to write. Okay, so in some cases, in some Linux machines which you have seen, like in Ubuntu machines, you might need to execute Python 3 hyphen version. Okay, so in some Linux distributions, okay, you might need to execute Python hyphen version. All right, so if you don't know any of that, you can do one thing. Okay, so let us assume that you write a Python, and over here you can write simple, just import sys. Okay, and in the sys module we have sys dot version underscore, or sys dot version. Okay, sorry, getting the version, and then print sys dot version underscore info. Am I clear on this? Right, sir? If you don't want to get into the Python, you can write a simple code also to get this stuff. Okay, so ensure that you are working on Python 3. Okay, don't work on Python 2. It is end of life now. Okay, so what is the other way? Okay, import sys and then Python code, right? Print of sys dot version, or you can use version underscore info. Okay, I don't want to add a screenshot. It is very simple stuff. Why do you want a screenshot? Right? Okay. And most important thing, okay, since we are using PyCharm, that is not a very difficult thing to worry about. Okay, follow PEP 8 style guide. So over here, okay, since we are using PyCharm, okay, try to fix all the issues shown by PyCharm. Okay, so over here, let me go to the PyCharm. Let me go over here. Sorry, if you are seeing over here, it is trying to tell that, okay, you are writing a signal and then the signal is basically coming out of scope. This is fine. Okay, right. Now what I'll try to do is, okay, let me go with some example. Okay, let me quickly write the stuff. New Python file. Okay, okay. PEP 8. Okay, right. So define square of val. Okay, return val star val. Okay, so and then define, okay, cube of val and then return val star star 3. Okay, right. Now if you basically look out over here, okay, Right. Whenever you're using PyCharm, you will not have this issue because PyCharm will try to help you in fixing the style guide. Okay. Don't forget to fix these things. Am I clear on this, sir? Never ever forget to fix this stuff. Am I clear on this? This comes at a very easier cost. Okay. Since we are using PyCharm. Okay. For this, I want to give an image. Okay. Right. Let me save this. Okay. It gets into here. Let me copy the path of it. Am I clear on this, sir? The second one is always try to follow what? PEP 8 style guide. And for that, you need not do anything. But one thing which I would recommend is, that is a recommendation from my side, is whenever you are trying to fix any issue, don't blindly fix that issue. Also look into what is that issue, because they would be helpful in your interviews, right? So whenever someone asks what are the coding standards which you follow, I follow PEP 8. Can you give me some examples? Then you cannot tell that I use PyCharm and PyCharm does the activities and I just basically let PyCharm do the activities for us, right? So this is called as linting. When any editor tries to give you some of the help, that is basic to follow some style guide, that is something which we call as linting. Am I clear on this, sir? Okay. Try to follow PEP guide for sure. Okay. Right. Okay. Now let me try to basically speak about one of the interesting thing which Python tries to speak about. Python tries to tell is, okay, whenever or you are using string formatting, formatting, right? So the third format which it tries to tell is prefer, okay, interpolated f strings over C style formatting. So don't use that percentage yes and percentage uh, D and all that stuff. Okay, right? So basically Python is optimized to behave with format strings. Okay, so the F stuff which we are trying to use. Okay, am I clear on that, sir? Okay, and if you have seen me in the class, I am already using that stuff. I'm already using format strings itself. Okay, and I would expect everyone, okay, try to use the format over directly trying to use percentage yes or using capital additions and all of that stuff. I would recommend use the F strings. Use the F strings. Am I clear on this, sir? Okay. Yes. Okay. Right. So these three things which we will follow. Are three enough or do you want more? For today, are three enough? Shall I take three every day? 3 to 4 points every day. Okay. Yes. Okay. Right. So this will be continued. Right, sir. So we know now. We know a little bit of Python functions? Do we know a little bit of trying to build a program which takes command line arguments? Right, sir? Okay. Now what we would do is, let us try to become aware of object oriented concepts of Python. Okay, let us try to become efficient at that space, and then we will come back to these functions. Okay, because internally functions are also objects, right? So if you go at a very deeper level, so we need to understand functions. Okay, and we need to understand objects before we get into the deeper objects of or deep advanced topics of functions, where we try to map, reduce, and all of that stuff. Before that, we need to understand objects better. So from tomorrow, we'll be basically going with objects. But my request to all of you is, right, two things. One, as I said, you need to look into regular expressions. I didn't start at regular expressions because the time was not supporting. Okay, and then if you go to the python.direct, I think Python, almost all the videos are on the playlist. Okay, so I'm not sure whether you are watching that or not. Almost all of them are present. Okay, I have not verified, but yeah. So if you see Python, let us verify the playlist. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, in Python we have everything. Okay, so even for the people who have not started, basically we have discussed the stuff from beginning. Please spend your time here. Spend your time here. And in this, okay, so if you go to python.direct site also, right, there is a link that is basically given for every classroom notes. Okay, so if you go into classroom notes, okay, right, so if you don't want to do it in this fashion, okay, so this is typically our first class. Okay, and now this class will be your first class in this playlist. Okay, session 1 demo. Forget about demo from here. Okay, now try, you can watch the video, watch the notes, and then become effective. Okay, over here we have discussed about object oriented programming. Please try to go through that stuff. Please try to go through that stuff. Am I clear on that, sir? We'll meet again tomorrow to continue this discussion.
Thanks for watching. For more videos, subscribe our channel and click on bell icon.